236CR Indianapolis. Praise will be heard all over the city all summer long. It's a faith and family summer on Praise AM 1310, 95.1 FM, Indy's Inspiration Station.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Unity and the Community. I'm your host on this afternoon. We have a show for you. It is good. It's beautiful here in the city of Indianapolis, capital city, state of Indiana, 6 million people, maybe a little bit more than that, and growing. The state is growing. That's the state of Indiana and Indianapolis, nearly 1 million people, over 1 million in the Metroplex area, depending on who you ask about that. But the city is growing. A lot of folks coming in all the time. And I hope that you're growing too. It is absolutely gorgeous downtown Indianapolis here on Monument Circle. There's some activities going on. I'm surprised that there are not more people down here availing themselves to all the wonderful activities that are happening on the circle. They've got ping pong tables out, and I think it's cornhole out there you can play, and some other games for your family, and some restaurants down here. So if you're looking for something to do, you can come on down to Indianapolis downtown on the circle, and the memorials down here. Like I tell you, it used to be called Governor's Circle down here. Now it's called Monument Circle, but just beautiful day. For those of you who are on your way to the fair, enjoy yourself. It's a beautiful day to be out at the fair. Make sure you stay hydrated. It is a hot day today, but enjoy it while it lasts. On the calendar, fall doesn't start until September. Somewhere around September 20 or 21st, AJ, I think one of those days is the beginning of the fall season. However, I do a lot of walking and jogging, and the leaves are already falling from the trees and hitting the ground. Flowers are falling away. The beauty that we had all around us with flowers and all the colors, all that's falling away. So to some degree, fall has already begun. However, we are here today. You're going to be blessed. I have an amazing guest with me. We're also streaming on Praise AM 1310, 95.1 FM, Indy's Inspiration Station. We're streaming on that app as well as my Facebook page, and also LinkedIn, YouTube, and X, formerly known as Twitter. So we are all over the internet, and we're transmitting over your radio in 2 places. It didn't always used to be this way. It was only AM 1310 when we first started out. Then it was 3 frequencies. Now it's 2. AM 1310, 95.1. So it is just so incredible. Our general manager, Dion Livingston, told us in a meeting at one point that because of the acquisition, where Urban One has acquired more stations and whatnot, that we are now in this market reaching 80% of the Black community. How about that? 80%. So we are reaching literally tens of thousands of people right now. Please be sure to share this with someone. Let them know that we are on, and we're talking about issues going on in our community. Also, I want to encourage you to listen to Tina Cosby Monday through Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. on the Community Connection news you can use. All different kind of information being disseminated over the airways while she's on the air. She's most capable of getting that information out. So that's Monday through Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. I want to pray for you, and then we're going to get into the rest of our show. Father, we thank you for this opportunity that we have to gather together on today. We thank you for the city of Indianapolis. You have assigned us to this city. Your word says in the prophecy of Jeremiah, we are to work for the peace of the city, for when the city has peace, then we will all have peace. And you have given us all something to do, an assignment that will help to actuate peace in our city. Help us do it to the fullest. And we pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. 317-972-3008. Again, that's 317-972-3008 will be the number that you will need to connect with the show on today. One of the big problems that disproportionately impacts the Black community is sickle cell. And we have worked with the Martin Center over the years to deal with making sure we get the information out to people who are dealing with sickle cell anemia in the United States of America, this disease that is said currently to have no cure. This disease disproportionately impacts Black people. And for those families who are challenged and dealing with someone in the family who has sickle cell, it is a tremendous thing. One of my colleagues, Dr. Lionel Rush, many of you all know him, he had two daughters. I don't think I'm precipitous to say he had two daughters who died because of sickle cell. And everything that he and his family had to deal with leading up to that. And some of the research that I did when we were working with the Martin Center was just amazing. I didn't know just how dreaded a disease sickle cell is. When you hear it, you think about it and you say, well, it's cellular, and it is. But when people have these episodes, as I understand it, it's just like fire in their bodies, these things that are happening. But I don't know as much about it as my guest. And one of my bounce sisters, she's here. And when I say bounce, many of you all may know what that is. And I posted rebounding class, and you missed class today. You're probably preparing for this. But Mary is in the class. We call her Mary. And she is vibrant, and she is just absolutely amazing. And she's joined us today to talk about sickle cell and also something else, and an upcoming event that you all are preparing for. So Mary, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Pastor Jackson.
I'm going to get you just a little closer to the mic here. There you go.
Okay, thank you so much, Pastor Jackson.
Thanks for coming. Did you have any trouble parking?
I did not.
You did? All right, you're a pro.
Yeah.
So tell us about yourself and who you represent and how you got involved in this work.
Well, I am a registered nurse, been a registered nurse for over 20 years. And I have 3 children, 2 grown children and 1 14-year-old going on 34 years old. She's the one that's challenged with sickle cell.
Mm-hmm.
I have been living in Indianapolis since 2005, and I got into this work because of my daughter who is challenged with sickle cell disease.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a non-for-profit called Sisters Incorporated, which has 2 arms. One is for sickle cell, and the other is for homeless families.
And both of these issues are serious issues in Indianapolis. In fact, on the way in, I noticed several people who are perhaps homeless. And there was a young lady as I was walking in. She had her dog there, and it appeared that she was homeless too. So homelessness affects people of all ages. Just how big of a problem is that in the city of Indianapolis?
It is a growing, alarming problem, especially since the pandemic era, and with the individuals that were in rental homes and things of that nature. And then during that time, they were able to not pay rent for a while. It was the rent moratorium. And so whenever the state or city deemed that to be over with, then a lot of individuals were evicted from their properties. And so we have a lot of families, we have a lot of individuals that are on the streets, they have homeless camps and things of that nature. And to kind of pivot off of that, with sickle cell individuals, they have issues also with homelessness and things of that nature because of being hospitalized for so long. And we're talking about parents at this time, and being able to take care of their children and pay bills and everything like that. They have a really, really hard time of taking care of themselves and paying bills and things of that nature. and so they are faced with homelessness as well.
And as you mentioned, Mary, your daughter, 34, having this sickle cell, and
She's
general
14.
14,
Yeah.
14, the 14-year-old.
Yeah.
But you have a daughter who's 34. Did you say 34?
I do have a daughter, but she just turned 35. So yeah.
Okay. But there's the 14-year-old
Yes.
that has the sickle cell. And so how does this impact the entire family?
Oh, it affects the family on all different levels, emotionally, physically, mentally, financially. Oh, it comes at a rush of time because sickle cell is so unexpectedly and it can hit at any time. And I know previous years back when I was employed, I almost lost my job. I almost lost my car, my house, and everything because my daughter was so sick, in and out of hospitals and things of that nature. And when you're employed, individuals don't look at the fact that, you have a daughter or a family member that's chronically ill. They want you to be present and accounted for, right? And so with that being said, um, by being a single mom and having those disparities, it was only God that kind of came in and was like, hey, hold on, I got you. And so he placed angels in my path to help bystand me losing everything, because whatever God blesses you with, no man or anything can take it away. So I thank the Lord for that.
No, and that is true, certainly true. Are businesses doing better with this? Have you been able to, with your Sisters Incorporated, work with any legislators to get any laws passed or anything done? I'm a commissioner for the Indiana Civil Rights Commission. I don't recall any cases. I'm on my second term with that. I don't recall any cases coming before us that involve what you're dealing with. But do you think that might be something where we can get with our legislators and maybe get some legislation that protects families who have this issue?
Absolutely, that will be spectacular. This organization I'm in is pretty much a grassroots organization, and we're trying to get more information out. I know individuals know about sickle cell, but they really don't know about sickle cell. And that's why we're here to be advocates. That's why we're here to be able to educate and inform individuals from a first-hand base. If you're not directly affected by a disease, it really, you just kind of hear about it and just kind of go through one ear and out the others. And I know with a few of my partners, they had no idea the impact of how sickle cell impacted my life. I used to just kind of keep things to myself. And then when I just started talking about what was going on, and the last 2 years was a great impact because my daughter was in the hospital, it seemed like every week. And through it all, I had, individuals that was in my corner and they said, Mary, I had no idea. And I had another partner that went to the hospital with my daughter when I was out of town, and they were doing all these tests. They didn't know what was going on with her. They couldn't get her pain under control. They had a ultrasound. They had a MRI done because she was just going down pretty quickly. And by her being there at the hospital, she said, I had no idea that things can go sour really quick. So by letting individuals know, legislative wise and things of that nature, to have someone that is directly affected by it and can tell the stories and can let individuals know how important it is to, just like a village, just come together as a village and be able to educate yourself first, and to be able to pass laws and things of that nature, to be more cognizant of individuals who have sickle cell. And I do understand also with my daughter being 14, she does not want individuals to know about her disease. She don't want to be signaled out. She want to be quote unquote normal, right? So what does that look like? You know, you see individuals out here, they're walking, they're running, and Susan B. Komen, breast cancer, leukemia, and things of that nature. But sickle cell, what I've seen, they don't want too many people to know that.
Mm-hmm.
And with their voices, they have the impact. And I tell her that all the time. And she said, well, you know, I don't want people to look at me different. I don't want them, you know, talking about me and things of that nature and things of that nature. And I tell her, I said, well, you know what? Your voice will help a lot of individuals. And so until she gets that mojo in her, I'm there for her to speak for her and let individuals know that this thing here is not a new disease. And that's the thing. It's been around for centuries. And just to kind of piggyback on what you said about the cure, there is a cure, but it's very invasive, right? So they break the whole body down, and there's stem cell transplants, and there's other things that they can do that's very invasive. So it's kind of like a risk versus benefit when it comes down to the cure of sickle cell. And then we don't know whether it's going to last for a long time or not. And individuals have passed away with the treatment of sickle cell. And so we do believe that in her lifetime that they will be a non-invasive cure. So if we can get more legislators and things of that nature to partner with Sisters Incorporated, because we love to partner with other organizations, and we like to get out and have our boots on the ground, even if it's not just for sickle cell, just, you know, collaborating with other organizations to be able to help them, and then we help each other. It's just a village, just, you know, helping each other.
I want to recommend 3 legislators.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Cherish Pryor. It's Representative Cherish Pryor. State Senator Lakeisha Jackson.
Okay.
And Representative Robin Shackelford.
Wow, okay.
I have worked with State Senator Jackson on legislation when she was a counselor that was passed. It was gun legislation. And she's brilliant, and her team, we got that legislation passed. It was, I think, as I recall, for gun legislation in Marion County, it was unanimous. Both sides of the aisle supported it and attached resources to it. And then recently, when she became state senator, she traveled to Washington, D.C. and worked with the folks there to deal with it on a national level. And Representative Cherish Pryor worked with her on dealing with the changing of the child labor laws. And the only reason why we couldn't go as far as we wanted to go is because her people said, well, we can't change it. We can't change state law until they change federal law.
Right.
But I think Senator Greg Taylor and his folks, along with the other legislators, got it done. And so now 13, 14-year-olds can work because the laws were antiquated. Now, I said I had to say, with this group that you have,
yes,
linking with Representative Cherish Pryor, Representative Robin Shackelford, or Senator Lakeisha Jackson, or all 3 together,
yes,
you all will be able to get something done. And I have learned over the years, this is the way to go. We have people in the state legislature that can help us to achieve our goals and to protect families, particularly single mothers, because nobody should be fired because their child has sickle cell or any other disease, but particularly this one, and because you can't show up for work.
Absolutely.
So we got to take a break, but when we come back, we want to hear from you. What is sickle cell? Because there are people in our listening audience, when we say sickle cell, they may not know what it is, or how does one get it? How do you contract sickle cell? And thank you for bringing me up to speed. There is an invasive cure that you said it's risky.
Yes.
And I think I do agree with you. I think in the future there will be a non-invasive cure.
Absolutely.
And we will all be jumping for joy.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, miracles, that's a cure.
Yes.
And miracles are as the Spirit wills. So we pray that anybody who has sickle cell will be totally and completely healed. We got to take a break. We have a caller, anonymous. We'll be back after these messages.
is reality.
Oh, 4.5.
The reality
Okay.
is
And we're
this.
still
America stands on the
streaming.
brink of
Oh,
opportunity
you can
to
hear us
change
there.
and upgrade our direction. Two brilliant, highly qualified, and
All
government
right.
experienced women of color are prepared and
Is there
capable of totally
anything
changing
you
the
want me to
narrative of
mention
this country.
specifically?
Although Angela also Brooks can only
you
get
have a
elected by
link
the
on
voters
Yeah,
of
September
Maryland to the
7th,
U.S. Senate,
time
that seat will
is
be the
to be,
51st vote
determined
and the
in
tiebreaker on
Garfield
all
Park.
critical
Is it a
legislation. And although it will take the voters from all 50 states to elect Kamala Harris to the presidency, the time for a definitive change in leadership has at last arrived. So now, our united mission for less than 100 days must be to support, protect, and elect both Angela and Kamala to their earned positions of power. A vote for them is a vote for your own best self-interest. This is Reality Radio with Kathy Hughes. What's your reality? What's your reality?
Sponsored by Urban One.
The new Eskenazi Health Thomas and Arlene Grandy campus is now open at the corner of East 38th Street and North Arlington Avenue. We look forward to welcoming the community to a space that is for more than just healthcare, but a place to celebrate the neighborhood, enjoy public art, and provide access to a wide range of services and resources to support your well-being. Appointments are available by calling 317-880-7666 or learn more at eskenazihealth.edu.
There are
And then
thousands of
there's
hurting
Facebook.
children in Indiana. They are in the child welfare system after experiencing abuse or neglect at home, or they struggle in school due to life trauma or challenges. And some face mental health issues or confront racism or other inequities because of who they are. At Child Advocates, we serve foster children. We help children succeed in school, and we host Interrupting Racism for Children workshops. We advocate for access to justice, equity, and well-being for
Donate right
children.
on the website.
Learn more. Join us at childadvocates.net.
Eligible Hoosiers, listen up. We need you. Poll workers are essential to ensuring Hoosier elections are a success. We are calling on the next generation to fulfill your civic duty. Applications for election poll workers are needed. It's easy, and you get paid. If you're interested, just go to indianavoters.com and click Work Polls. The time is now. Get involved. Your county, your election. This message is sponsored by your Indiana Secretary of State's office.
Right.
To make switching to the new Boost Mobile risk-free, we're offering a 30-day money-back guarantee.
So why wouldn't you switch from Verizon or T-Mobile?
Because we have nothing to lose. Boost Mobile is offering a 30-day money-back guarantee.
No, I asked why wouldn't you switch from Verizon or T-Mobile? Wouldn't.
Because you love wasting money as a way to punish yourself because your mother never showed you enough love as a child?
Whoa. Easy there.
Yeah.
Applies to online activations. Requires port-in and auto-pay. Customers activating in stores may be charged non-refundable activation fees.
Honey, is the car ready for our road trip to the family reunion?
Yep, signed up for Ox Car Care and their extended service plan. Ox will cover our repair bills if anything happens to the car. New brakes, a transmission, AC, or engine problem.
What a relief. Doesn't Ox Car Care include free oil changes, tire rotation, and roadside assistance too?
We don't pay. Ox pay. Ox gets it fixed for us. They have a 30-day money-back guarantee, and it's A+ rated by the BBB.
I remember. Ox handles their claims from start to finish, unlike those other warranty companies. Good call, honey. The last thing we need is an unexpected car repair bill. What a relief. Road trip, here we come.
Drive with absolute peace of mind. Call Ox Car Care for your free quote. 800-204-0255. Ask about senior and military discount. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox Car Care. 800-204-0255. 800-204-0255. Or oxcarcare.com.
Hey, can you hear me?
Medical
Well, your customers can too.
And so, you hear about
Get your message heard. Text business to 71007 now. Get results with Radio 1.
Have you noticed the hype around retinol lately? It's all over my social media. But did you know you can get retinol in a body wash? Amazing, right? Olay Retinol Body Wash is packed with moisturizing vitamin B3 complex plus retinol to transform dry skin to visibly renew in just 14 days. Try it the next time you shower and see the difference for yourself. Olay Retinol Body Wash for visibly renewed skin in just 14 days. And try Olay Retinol 24 Body Lotion.
And we're back. AJ's on the controls, doing a good job as per usual. 317-972-3008. 317-972-3008 is the number to call to connect to the show. And today we're talking about sickle cell and homelessness, but the majority of our conversation is about sickle cell. I'm joined by Mary Moore, registered nurse, which I didn't know that fully, but I do know now. We've got a lot of registered nurses in the bounce class.
We do.
If anything ever happened to me, I'll be in good hands.
Oh, I don't know.
Hopefully it won't, though. 57 on those things. Anyway, we're talking about all things health today. We have a caller. You've been patient. Welcome to the program. All right.
Thank you for taking my call. I just wanted to speak out for those that do not have sickle cell, that know people that do have sickle cell. And sir, I really think we should be the ones carrying the flag for those because we are so blessed not to have it. And I bet you I've had 4 or 5 people in a youth group that I had for about 5 to 10 years, let's say. And they're adults now. They have children as well. And we all need to man up and just go ahead and get behind the charge that Mrs. Moore's kind of placed before us. So I thank you for taking my call. I had a whole bunch more to say, but I better give up the line. Thank you.
All right. Appreciate you calling in. And yeah, God bless you for talking about you call it a shack, but your place to stay. I do a lot of walking, Mary.
Yes.
Walking and jogging. And I love the outdoors, love fitness. And there's a trail that I use. I use several trails, but there's a trail that I use. And I noticed on one of the trails behind one of the park benches there, a wrought iron bench that they had out there, which I hadn't noticed in years before because it wasn't there, but there was a guy who had made his pallet right there behind that bench. And so I'm noticing those trails where we have folks who are in the forestry area and they've got tents, or they're just kind of in there trying to be out of the way, finding some shelter.
Yes.
And you said that's happening more often than we probably know.
Yes, it sure is.
And AJ, her mic seems to be out or something.
Yes, it sure is.
All right, you're back.
Yes. Sorry about that. But yes, I noticed on East Washington Street, because I go to the Walmart Supercenter over there quite a bit. They have homeless camps right up and down that street.
A lot. I've seen that too, yeah.
Oh my God, it's expeditiously. And I try to, buy them food and things of that nature, and give them packs, little sacks of food and hygiene things and things of that nature, which I believe that, it would help. But we definitely need to come together as a village to help with housing and things of that nature. And some folks think that individuals that are homeless is because of something that they want to do, but a lot of times it's mental illness. And so that's the foundation of the homelessness as well, with veterans especially. And then there's also, like we stated before, with individuals not being able to pay the high rent. And then if they do have an eviction or something like that on their records, a lot of the property managers, which have bought up a lot of the homes here, so it's kind of hard to get housing when it comes down to that.
Affordable housing.
Yes, affordable housing. Yes.
Yeah, and the housing stock in Indianapolis has not caught up with the growth of the city.
Absolutely.
So that's a growing, a problem that's continuing to grow. If you want to connect to the show today, 317-972-3008. If you have a question for Mary, 317-972-3008. Sisters Incorporated. Before we start talking about your view on what sickle cell is and how people get it, talk about the event that's coming up on September 7th at Garfield Park.
Yes, we are collaborating. Sisters Incorporated is in collaboration with Women Building Wealth and other organizations. We're going to have lab testing from the health department there. I believe we're going to have NAACP, one of the representatives there. We are looking for sponsorships and donations and things of that nature. And if you would like to donate or sponsor, you can look on our website at Sisters Incorporated, HTTPS, sistersincorporated.com. You can also find us on Facebook, that you can donate and get in contact with us there. The mission is to provide back to school supplies, which we know that school have already began, but guess what? In the middle months where there's December and January, those kids are broken crayons and pencils and things of that nature. So they're going to need another supply of that. But I don't think that we can ever have too much of the school supplies. So we want to be able to bless our sickle cell families and also the other families that are out there that are in need or will be in need of school supplies. We wanted to be a spectacular event, so feel free to get in contact with us if you want to donate any type of supplies, any type of funding or anything like that to make this a spectacular event. So we're going to have it at Garfield Park. The time is to be determined. We had it actually scheduled today, but one of our partners, her mother passed away a few weeks ago, so we had to kind of replace that time or get another time to have the event. So we are looking for individuals that are wanting to sponsor, help us fundraise for the sickle cell children and things of that nature, and homeless families as well. So.
And that website, for those of you who are in our listening audience, SUS on the World Wide Web, SUSTERSINK.com. INC.
Incorporated. Sisters.
Okay, all right. So it's and sisters is spelled with the U.
Yes.
So
SUS.
SUSTERSINC.
Yes, sisters.
.com.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
All right. I want to make sure we got that right. So those of you who want to sponsor and find out more about Sisters Incorporated, you can go on the World Wide Web and look this up, SUSTERSINC.com, and on Facebook, where you get more immediate information and engage with other people who are engaging there, sistersincorporated.com. So September 7th is coming up really, really quick.
Absolutely.
It'll be here before you know it. I was talking to someone today at the rebounding class. I said, after 30, it seemed like the months fly by.
Yes.
When you're a kid, it seemed like it takes so long. But after 30, and maybe it's because rent and mortgage is due on the first.
Well, I don't know, Pastor, because my daughter that's 14, she tells me these days are going so quick, Mommy. And I'm like, they sure are. And I say, I don't know if it's the time change or, the world has changed. I'm not for sure, but things are going super quick. And she's like, well, I don't want to grow up. I said, well, yeah.
That was different from me. I wanted to be 12, then 15, then 18, and 21.
Yeah.
And I think once you hit 30, you want it to go the other way.
But yeah. The opposite direction, yes.
So, Mary, talk about how this happens to people. What is sickle cell, in your view? And then how do people get sickle cell?
Sickle cell is an inherited disease, and it comes from a trait from the parents, the mother and the father. And it's a 25% chance that parents would have a child with sickle cell if they have the trait. I have the C trait, which there's like maybe 40 different variations, maybe more than that variations, because of course the world is a melting pot and we're continuously migrating and integrating with each other. So my daughter has the SC trait. SC disease. They call it the disease because of her hemoglobin, which is the iron level in your body, is typically normal, right? And so her disease is considered like the second most familiar disease. And the SS, which is considered sickle cell anemia. And so that's considered like one of the worst ones. And then there's sickle cell SC disease, and then it just goes on and on and on. And so the disease is now they can pretty much determine the disease in your children during newborn testing, right? So my daughter was 7 days old when I got the call that she had sickle cell disease, and I've heard it before, like, hey, this person here has sickle cell. You know, growing up was like, oh, okay, well, I know they're in and out the hospital, but I just didn't know the impact. And I knew that they didn't live too long back then. And, you know, I'm 50 years old, and I tell you, I just didn't have an idea. So when I heard the news, I was like, oh, okay, my daughter probably is going to die.
Wow.
And so
you thought that?
Yeah, I did. I was like, oh, I'm going to go up underneath a rock and just kind of hide there. So I had to educate myself, right? So I had to learn how the disease impacted, what was it, and things of that nature. So I learned that sickle cell is, it affects the red blood cells. So the normal red blood cells is like rounded like a donut, and it's flexible and things of that nature, and it goes through the body and is carrying oxygen to all parts of the body, right? And so with the sickle cell disease, it starts to sickle. So it looks like the moon, crescent moon shape.
It's jagged.
Really jagged, and it's just crazy looking, right?
I cringe to think about it, because when I worked with the Martin Center and did the research and discovered all that, it makes me cringe a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's where the pain comes from.
That's where the pain comes from. Trying to go through those little small vessels and it just start, as you know, normal red blood cells is lubricated and, you know, and goes so freely. And I tell you how a doctor of hers described it. He described it as, you know, just imagine a freeway. And you're going down the freeway so smoothly, and then one car stops or stalls or something like that, and it's so packed, and then everything else all the other cars just start backing up. And it's trying to go through that little bitty space there, and that's what is causing all the pain and discomfort and things of that nature. So one of the things that they go through is pain crises. And then, but wherever the blood is at, it is affecting everything in the body. So head to toe, you have blood. So they can get anything from acute chest syndrome, atherosclerosis, strokes, heart attacks, just any and everything. And the most important thing is to stay hydrated, like you stated.
Yeah. Of course, we all need that, but especially when you're dealing with sickle cell.
Absolutely.
Because water is a natural lubricant for us.
Yeah.
And we need that in our bodies. When you're born, you're pretty much water, almost 100%.
Yeah.
We wouldn't think, because we look at a baby and it's solid, but it's mostly water. And we just don't drink enough. I know it took me a long time to drink water more regularly, because I grew up on Kool-Aid. Well, that was water in there, but all the sugar.
Oh yeah, we love our
soft
Kool-Aid.
drinks,
The cherry
Mountain Dew,
Kool-Aid.
cherry Kool-Aid, Mountain Dew.
Yes.
all those different kind of things, and we grow up on that.
Absolutely.
And certainly we get our diets from our parents.
Absolutely.
And it's hard to make a change. And we start talking about changes and doing the right things and drinking water. It is easier said than done. It really is, especially in the United States of America. So September 7th, y'all, Mary and her colleagues and partners are going to be out at Garfield Park. What time is that going to be?
To be determined.
To be determined.
We're thinking about 12 o'clock, but like I stated, we had a death with one of our partners, so we have to get all that together.
Somewhere around 12.
Yeah.
And thereafter.
Yes.
This event's going to, you got some hot dogs there?
Yeah.
Because I have been wanting a hot dog for the past several days. Now on Saturdays, I either do a burger or a hot dog.
Really?
Usually burgers.
Okay.
But I think I'm just going to have to do the hot dog today. But anyway, if you're going to have some hot dogs out there, I think I'll get out there. I'll come out anyway.
Yeah.
But to support you, and we're going to be talking about this a little later on too.
Absolutely.
But you all can go to sustersInc.com. Again, that's sustersInc.com to support. Let's support one another. You can go quicker access on Facebook. Is there a link on the Facebook page that takes you to the donation page?
It sure does, yeah.
All right, so you all got it all together there. And Senator Jackson, Representative Shackelford, Representative Shackelford, Pryor, Representative Pryor, Greg Taylor, Bartlett, all those folks who are in the state legislature. If you all are listening, or if folks who know them are listening, let them know we need some help to protect people who have children. Maybe those laws are already out there. Maybe those protections are already out there, and we might need to have a show about that so people can know. Another thing I want to talk about is the Women Building Wealth group. And there's a workbook that you all have created. And this is the first time that I've heard of this particular concept that you just gave me, where bullying is concerned. You gave me a new term today. We're going to talk about that. Before we do, we got to take a quick break. We'll be back with this new term, at least new to me, and perhaps it's going to be new to you. We'll be back after this.
3:45.
Hey family, Willie Moe Jr. here. And your boy D Style. And you know this weekend we want you to have a really good time. Why don't you just relax and not sound like I'm fussing at you. Why don't you just relax? No, it's just saying you deserve it, right? Because come Monday, it's gonna be time to get back in the kitchen. You bring it out. Because it'll be Money Monday. And we don't want you to miss it. So make an appointment to hang out with your nephew and the White Stone next time on the Willie Moe Jr.
Thank you so much for allowing me.
On Praise 8-13-10, 95.1
Well, I hope
FM.
that you'll come back.
I've always gotten tons of UTIs. Cranberry products never worked for me, and I was desperate for a way to be proactive. I'm Jenna Ryan, CEO and founder of Eucora. We've worked with doctors to develop effective urinary tract health products. Just mix a packet of Eucora with water and drink it when you need support, like right after intimacy. Eucora is helping over 100,000 women stay healthy. Ready to join them? Get 30% off at eucora.com/radio. That's UQORA.com/radio.
Attention Indiana Medicaid members. If you need assistance with daily living, you can receive a free service from Freedom Care in your own home from a loved one who lives with you. With Freedom Care, you decide who provides your daily care with help preparing meals, bathing, laundry, transportation, and more. A family member or friend that gets paid instantly. It's all through Medicaid and 100% free to you. Call now to check your eligibility. New to Medicaid, the Freedom Care family will guide you through enrollment, making it stress-free for patients and caregivers. With over 5,000 five-star Google reviews, we perfected at-home care for Medicaid members and caregivers. This service is free to you through Medicaid, and with our InstaPay app, caregivers can choose to get paid instantly. So go to freedomcare.com or call 463-289-5419. That's 463-289-5419. 463-289-5419.
Especially in this one.
Presenting Again Fling's love story. Dear love of my life. We were on the 12B bus this morning when I caught a whiff.
A scent so fresh, so life-changing, I had to find its source. Alas, I didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired millman next to me. But I knew one of you was my soulmate. Scent of Gain Flings. Try Gain Flings with OxyBoost and Febreze.
Listen to the It Is Well broadcast each Friday at 7:30 p.m. on Praise Indy, AM 1310 and 95.1 FM, where Beverly and Reggie Barney are your hosts.
All right, we're headed to the top of the hour. Thank you for being with us. Again, if you have a question for Mary where sickle cell or homelessness is concerned, 317-972-3008. Again, that's 317-972-3008. 317-972-3008. Mary, before the break and off air, we were talking about this new term, at least new to me, called medical bullying.
Yes.
What is medical bullying?
Medical bullying is any type of health disparities that children may face in the school system while they're at school or anywhere, but particularly in the schools, right? And I came up with that because of my experience with my daughter who has sickle cell disease. And so with her having a medical condition, a lot of the children were asking questions. Why are you not in school? Why do you seem so tired? Or why can't you come outside to play when it's really cold and things of that nature? And so she got made fun of a lot of times. When she did tell the kids that she has sickle cell disease, they thought they could catch it, which, if, children, they don't know.
Right.
And they just kind of come up with things and they thought they could catch it. And then they used to make fun of her, telling her she's going to die. She's going to
That's cruel.
Have a heart attack. I mean,
Wow.
I've heard just some of any and everything. And so what that causes is a lot of depression and anxiety.
Childhood trauma.
Childhood trauma, right? Yeah. And so we came up with a notion, right? We wanted to hit the caregivers, and we also wanted to hit the children and schools. And so basically we want to pilot out a program with sickle cell, but of course there's many health disparities like autism and leukemia, diabetes, and things of that nature. So we're wanting to get to some of the schools, superintendents, or somebody that will actually give us a chance. And we're working on a workbook, and it's almost done. And it's going to educate individuals about medical bullying, because you have mass shootings in the schools. We have kids with behavior issues and things of that nature. And a lot of times the teachers or custodians or anybody that's in the school, the bus drivers, the whole vast majorities, they just look at the kid as being a problem child, right? And so we want to get to the foundation of that. And so what we want to do is educate individuals about what to look for, how to identify kids that are having these issues. And so we believe that if we can educate individuals and their families and things of that nature, that we'll be able to make an impact. And that's not to say that it will, decrease the shootings and the fightings and killings and things of that nature, but it may have some type of impact. And to teach about sickle cell first, pilot that out, and then our next segment is going to be autism. So it would just, train the trainers.
Medical bullying. And a lot of kids end up with some adult issues.
Yes.
Because of the childhood trauma. I think all of us, if we really think about it,
absolutely,
some of the things we're dealing with now, if we do some introspection and we go back, we'll find that it was in our childhood.
Absolutely.
Even our attachment styles. We're starting to hear more about attachment styles in psychology. and how we were attached to our mothers, and how that affects our relationships with all of the people and how we are attached to them.
Absolutely.
And I think it is important in workbooks like what you have and what you all are developing, that we have more of those kinds of things. Hopefully you can get them into the schools. You said that you were trying to talk to some of the school superintendents about this. How is that going?
Well, we have not been able to get to that threshold. We need the key. I'm not for sure how we can do that, but
to talk to the superintendent?
Yeah, to talk to the superintendents, to actually just kind of have a chance to sit down with them and show them and also educate them on what we're doing and see if they would be interested in it. I mean, it's a big impact in the school system, and then if we can actually have that time, I mean, 5 minutes would be great. And then show them something tangible, which is the workbook, and it is absolutely awesome. It's going to be done here the next week or two, but just to have something tangible.
Yeah. Well, you might want to talk to your pastor about what you're doing. And a lot of times pastors can get these things in front of superintendents, and a lot of times pastors are connected to some other group, like the Baptist Ministers Alliance, the Concerned Clergy is a good one. There's some other agencies out there that faith-based agencies that pastors are a part of, that perhaps something like this, if you talk to them, can help you to get it in front of these school superintendents.
Absolutely.
Because I think it's important what you've mentioned here about medical bullying and the kids who do have these kinds of disparities and challenges when they go into the school. And it's not like they ask for these diseases and these things that challenge their lives. And it's difficult as a child to respond to these kinds of things. And as you said, a lot of kids, they don't know.
Yes.
And kids can be really mean.
Oh, yes.
And cruel.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And a lot of times they're not trying to be.
Yes.
But it just comes across that way. For those of you who want to help out, on September 7th at Garfield Park, there's going to be an event taking place. Backpacks going to be given away, as well as some other things. Mary and her sisters are going to be driving this effort. If you want to know more about how you can help out, you can go to Facebook. The Facebook page is Sisters Incorporated. Also, you can go to the website, sustersinc.com. Before we get out of here, Mary, I do want to talk about one more thing. And we were just chatting about this off air. People who fall in love with one another, let's say, how advantageous is it to talk about the sickle cell trait and or to get tested for it?
Absolutely. Great question. And so basically what we like to do is educate individuals to get tested. And I know a lot of times when you go to your doctor's office, they want to just test for the main traits.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a testing for all of the traits. And so you have to really signify that I want to be tested for all of the traits of sickle cell, right? And so when you determine whether you have the trait or not, then you can determine whether you want to continue to procreate or not.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some folks, they're like, well, hey, we love each other. We still want to have kids and things of that nature. But you have to understand the impact of what that will cause.
And what you're getting into.
And what you're getting into. Because it's not something that you can just give back. Like, hey, I'm going to give that back. But it's a real big impact with the family structure and things of that nature when you want to have children with sickle cell disease. And nowadays with so many things that the testing and things of that nature, you have an opportunity to make that sound decision. And then what folks do is they may end up adopting in order for their children not to have to go through those impacts. And take it from me, if I can do it all over again, I would. I love my daughter. She's such a blessing. But to experience the impact of her having the pain crises and not being able to walk and crying out for God and anybody to help her, and just saying to herself that I know that I was born with this, but why me?
And I'm sure that weighs on you.
Oh yeah. And this is why she's my reason why that I go full-fledged with advocating. She's the reason why I don't ever give up, and I am so resilient in doing what I'm doing. So, and I do know that there are families that do have more than one child with sickle cell disease, and when you have more than one, I know the impact with one, but they live in hospitals.
And that's interesting. I mean, how do you even bring that up if you're getting into a relationship? Of course, if you know you have the trait, then I think it's something that you should share with that person that you're getting involved with. We may have time we don't have time for the call. Somebody trying to call in. So we'll have to get you on the next round. It's like an altar call. Wait until the last minute. I have enjoyed talking with you, Mary.
Yes, thank you so much for allowing me to come in and share my time and story. And I know we could probably talk all day long, but definitely we will get together after off air and get some things going.
All right. Thank you all for tuning in. Those of you who are streaming. Until next time, from all of us here at Praise AM 1395.1. We like you, we love you, and you make us smile. Have a great Saturday.
Join Praise Indy Sunday, August 18th for Gospel Fest, starring Yolanda Adams, performing at the Hoosier Lottery Free Stage at the Indiana State Fair. Celebrate Gospel Fest at the Indiana State Fair with Praise Indy, Sunday, August 18th. Details at praiseindy.com. What does Kit Kat taste?
Great job, AJ.
The Cheesecake Lady, Dope Lemonade, microblading and brown lounge.
Mary, you say bye to the people.
Preserves and jellies all have in common. They're all participating in the Indianapolis Urban League's 5th annual Entrepreneur and Small Business Fair.